My name is Antwan Williams, or Antwan Banks Williams, and I was introduced to this form of art, which is one of my forms of art, painting, um, maybe 6 years ago while I was incarcerated. Actually, a good friend of mine who's also on this side of the wall now, named Tommy Winfrey. Um, he was doing a phenomenal painting in the arts and correction rooms inside of San Quentin State Prison, and he was painting this guy's face. Now, again, my mother and my father are both artists. They have done every form of art that I could possibly think of, and I've always been able to draw, but I just never got into painting. And um, Tommy actually encouraged me. He didn't just encourage me. He actually gave me like a little like pill bottles with like some paint in it. So it was like blues, and I think he gave me like some black, some white, just basic colors, and I think maybe some red. Um, and he gave me a couple brushes, but inside, like, you don't have really good materials. And I went back to my housing unit that night, and I just got some regular blank white paper, and I just started painting on it. So that's my initial introduction into painting. It was during my incarceration. I do consider myself an artist because um, I love to create, and creation looks different in different platforms. But the one thing that it really shares is emotions that come from it, and sometimes um, that is the best way that I can connect with people, right? Like, some emotions don't necessarily have words, so you can't just write it down or say it and hope that it translates. Sometimes it just has to be felt. I express liberation through my art in a number of ways. One, I like to speak to social issues because I believe that, for one, we can't separate one issue from another, right? Like, it is, as a society, um, one aspect of one part of one community will always extend to another part of another community. And I feel like it's on, at times, it's on me to be a part of those conversations in the best way that I can. So I will paint um, signs of protest. I will draw people in um, conditions of being distraught or anger or prominent, powerful people, right? Like, just I use this as a way to, again, free ourselves from the understanding of, or the belief of, if it isn't in my community, it doesn't affect me, right? Like, if it isn't in my household, then I don't have to pay attention to it, because that is the furthest thing from the truth. When we think about system impacted communities, we think about a lot of times ground zero, the place where the impact happens the most. But just like, any ripple effect, if it might, the splash might not be where your home is, but the waves will make their way into your home, right? So I use my art as a way to express liberation, because incarcerated people and formerly incarcerated people, people that have been system impacted, or people that is currently like system involved, and that goes for the family members, that goes for the correctional officers, that goes for the nurses, right? That people that invest their life into the prison system, right? Like, they are system involved. And you can be a part of this system for so long that you overlook a lot of things, and you become attached, and you become captured by these notions of who people are, of what they possess, what they can be, what they will be. And if you treat people inside that way, when you go home, you still have that belief, right? Like you still have that understanding. You still see people that way, especially if they start to look like a lot of the people that you work with. So I use my art as a way, again, to express liberation, because it changes the dynamic of beauty and power and substance while while it's created inside of a prison. It's that powerful. Like I've seen it happen, and I capture it by, again, taking times and moments where people are choosing to be free, other than choosing to be held down physically and mentally by the bars and the culture that sometimes takes over prisons. Um, there's so many people that are incarcerated outside that have never spent a day in jail or prison. And it is so many people inside that have left prison 15, 20 years ago, yet they still spend their days and their nights in cages. And that is something that I choose to, that is the truth that I choose to capture and to keep with me and to share everywhere that I go. I hope to show that the work is never completed. I hope to show that the work is never done. I hope to show that as long as you get the message, as long as the message is received, then we don't have to focus necessarily on how pretty or how perfect things are. One of the things that I feel gets lost is I feel things get lost when people believe that more should be done, right? That this could be better if, or this would have worked if this happened, or this could have been more effective if this. And I do not believe that that is always needed. When we can get, when we are able, let me rephrase that. When I am able to get somebody to realize what I know to be true, then I've done my job. The moment I can get somebody to realize that I don't need to fill up every aspect of this canvas for it to be beautiful. I don't need to have every color blended for it to look professional or for it to be considered professional. I don't need every sketch, or I don't need the canvas to be so big or so small for it to have more value and substance. When people get the image, when they get the message, then I've done my job as an artist. My artist is to translate. My artistry provides me an opportunity to translate what I think and what I feel to somebody else. And that may not look complete. So I hope to show people, again, that our work is never done, that our work is never perfect, but our work is worth being looked at. It's worth being thought about. It's worth reflecting on, right? It's worth adding to it. It's worth being a part of it. It's worth thinking about. It's worth sharing, right? Like that's what I hope to show through my art/liberation. If people were to look at any person in any current position that they're in and say, it's not just say it, but mean it, but really mean it. and say, like, that's beautiful. Like, man, that's powerful. Like, man, that's perfect. That is exactly what it needs to be, right? Like, we could find a comfort in ourselves, and we can find something to hold on to and to tap into, and that shit can change everything for us.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we won't need to go to some other place to get that kind of validation.
Yeah. Sorry. Then, yeah.
Right? Like, in moments where we create something that's just for us and it felt true and it felt real, and somebody not just comes along, but they acknowledge it, they recognize it, they take it in, they see it for what it is, not what they want it to be, but they see it for what you created it to be, and they understand that and just salute you, say, man, that's phenomenal work, man. That's beautiful. I get it. Like, it's so many people can start to heal, like, parts of themselves that is still aching and is still torn and is still, like, reeling from those traumatic moments. So it's like, that's what I want people to do. I don't want people to come and see the artwork and be like, it's complete. I don't need to, like, I see it all, I get it all, and like, okay, that's it. I want them to see, like, all of our imperfections. I want them to see all that we are capable of. I want them to think about the times that it was captured or created, the climate that we're in, like, how far away from themselves in the art are they? I want them to think about proximity. I want people to really just to invest themselves in ways that they haven't done when it comes to, like, interacting with art or with the artist or with the process of creation, So that's pretty much it, bro.